Good Thursday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. Congratulations, you made it to Thursday, almost the weekend, but it's a big day. I think of March Madness. Tennessee has their big game tonight, which is why I'm wearing my Tennessee orange. Want to say hello to you. If you're on the call, let me know. I'm on both YouTube and Facebook, but I want to show you our temperatures do vary, much like they did yesterday morning. I mean, when there's a 10-degree difference between Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg Airport in Sevierville, it's 39 there. It's 49 at McGee-Tyson. And then compare and contrast that number with our friends in Wartburg. They're in the upper 30s there. 35 in Jamestown, 40 in Crossville, but they're in the 30s in Athens. So I would say, yes, we're going to start in the 30s and 40s. Some people love to ask me, they're just like, well, pick one. Well, you pick one. Pick out your favorite town. If you're in Oak Ridge, you're starting off in the lower 40s. And if you're in Madisonville, it looks like it's now adjusted to 39. So there is some cold air, some pockets of cold air, but certainly not as cold as it was just a couple of days ago. Certainly we started off the work week around 26 degrees, some pretty cold air as we moved into the Tuesday timeframe. That's really when it got our lowest point this week. Visibility in miles, not an issue at all, but 10 miles an hour, 10 miles is the maximum that you would see on this map, so no concerns there. Ultimate Doppler radar presented by Madlock Tire Service and Auto Repair. They are my sponsor for the radar, and it's pretty quiet, but this will change come tomorrow because we will have some things to zoom in on and look at as we head forward in time. I want to say good morning to you. If you're on the call, say good morning. If you're on YouTube, let me know. Over here, Steve Stone's quick to draw here. He says good morning. He's got his happy face. Always happy to see Steve on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, let me know. I'm on Facebook too. Let me go down to the post, which appears to be here, and we've got perhaps a few of you that might be leaving some comments. Carrie Aguilar says, good, fantabulous Thursday morning. Oh, yes, sunshine. She's got her cup of coffee. I love it. And Liza Rose saying good morning to you. Happy to have you all here because we've got some interesting weather to talk about. Easter, Resurrection Day, is just 10 days away. You may be surprised as to what we're still seeing in some of the data. You know, when you get some data that refers to some snow, oh, no. Could that be a trend? I would say maybe 3 runs in a row might be a trend, but it's something that we're talking about. We want to talk about the possibility of getting some colder air going into the end of this month. Very interesting indeed, so stay with me. But the Ultimate Doppler radar showing a dry scan. The Ultimate Doppler radar presented by Madlock Tire Service and Auto Repair, East Tennessee's #1 tire service and auto repair since 1953. You know they're doing something right. You know they're doing something right if they've been doing this now for over 70 years. They've got a location in Knoxville, Maryville, Lenoir City. They are also conveniently located in Athens and McMinn County, and you can find them in Hardin Valley in West Knox County. Check them out. I've got the phone numbers, I've got the addresses, and of course the URL is at the top of this Facebook post, MadlockTireService.com. Love Madlock if you need an oil change. Maybe as something as simple as an oil change, because we all need to have those done on occasion. They are the place to go, and they can rotate your tires. They can even give you a whole new set of tires when it's time, and they can also inspect that for you. Love MadlockTireService.com, and make sure you tell them Captain Accurate sent you. By the way, the radar pretty quiet locally. It's also quiet in Middle and West Tennessee. Still some thunderstorms this morning in western sections of Oklahoma, and some rain showers you can see around Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. But the snow, he keeps talking about that snow. I don't like snow, some of you say, if you're on Team Spring. Or on the converse, maybe, I love snow. I wish we had more of it. I know I can't please everybody. I'm just the messenger. But it is snowing pretty steadily now in parts of southern Minnesota, parts of the Dakotas, and it's snowing across much of New England. The lake effect snow guns are still in full gear and moving across much of upstate New York at this time. But I do want to point out our temperatures vary this morning. Looks like we've got an issue there with Oneida. Let me see if I can fix that. Well, I can tell you it is still in the 30s there, but 49 in Knoxville, 39 in Madisonville. We've got 40 degrees in Crossville. Throw in some wind, and there's a little bit of a wind. It could actually affect the wind chill, the feels like. Have a 9-mile-an-hour wind at the moment, but because it's so warm, it may feel like it's 45 here. Some of you may feel like you're below freezing. If you're in Oneida, there you are, Scott County. 30 in Jamestown, feels like 38 in Crossville, and we've got feels like in White Pine, Morristown, Talbot around 36 degrees. And it's cold enough to see your breath in Lexington, Kentucky, because they're starting off at 29. I mean, 20 degrees difference. That's just, that's just a 3-hour drive. 3-hour drive, drop 20 degrees. Boom. That's how different it can be from one part of the state, one part of the Commonwealth, in the Kentucky's case, from one side to the other. Because in Paducah, they're at 43, and Memphis right now is at 53. If you're on the call, I just want to say good morning to you once again. Cody says, are we still going to get that snow that you said will make the MLK snow look like an appetizer? Well, we'll have to wait and see, Cody. I want to show you some of the data. I'll let you decide. You tell me, given the time of season, the days have gotten longer. As I like to say to my premium members, the models, because everybody lives, they get hooked, right? Whatever the model says, they worship the models. Well, the models don't know, in some cases, they can't see what they don't know, and they don't know what they can't see. But when it's clear, and when the models say it, then everybody jumps on that bandwagon. So we're going to talk about that, Cody. It's a very good question. But I don't think winter's done yet. I still think winter has a few more surprises. And if I'm wrong, so be it. I did say we'd get 8 to 12 inches of snow this winter season to my premium members in my winter weather outlook. And if you didn't see it, then you're not a premium member, because it was primarily and only on the premium side. But 8 to 12, we got 8.5. So even if we didn't get another flake, but I do think we will, even if we didn't get another flake, my expectation was reasonable when I put that out 2 days before Halloween. 2 days before Halloween, I said 8 to 12 inches more likely for the Knoxville area. And so far, I'm in that range. Tracking some clouds and radar, you can see some clouds across West Tennessee. Notice the clouds back across Memphis and Jackson. Virtually sun-filled day today. The only difference will be some high clouds that try to advance for the second half of the day. As far as the day is concerned, sun's up. 7:37 goes down tonight at 7:49. So we're now 11 minutes. That's all it takes. Just 11 minutes before 8 o'clock, and we're going to have that sunset. You'll see more clouds increasing later tonight. I want to get you out the door for the bus stop. Kids are going to be headed to school. Maybe not as cold. They'll still want a light jacket. Temperatures could easily cool a few more degrees, because some of us are in the 30s. Some of us are in the 40s. But at least Knoxville, in the 40s, should be back to about 63 by 2 o'clock. Between that 2 and 3:30 time frame, I anticipate we'll find more sunshine. It did bump us up from 65 to 67. Yesterday, I should mention, because these are my expected highs today, 67 Maryville, expecting 71 now for Tellico Plains, and 64 for Crossville, with a sun-filled, mostly sunny day with some high clouds. I do want to bring you back up to speed, because you know I'm a note taker. At 5:26, it wasn't like at 3 p.m., wasn't at 4 o'clock, but at 5:26, because days are getting longer, that's when we hit 71, which was a little higher than even I thought, because I said with a southwest breeze, probably upper 60s. We hit 71 yesterday at McGee-Tyson. Normal high 63, record high 86 from 1907, and we did hit 18 degrees on this date back in 1965. So that gives you some idea as far as perspective. But these are my expected highs today. So we'll be back in the mid to upper 60s with lots of sunshine. Winds today will be out of the northeast, not the southwest like they were yesterday, but a northeast wind. Despite the full sunshine in many cases, I still think it'll be a nice, pleasant afternoon, generally in the 60s for most. Now, what you won't see under the hood of the car from this image is how cold is it to the far north. I keep talking about winter, and some people think it's gone, it's spring, this man needs to move on because there's no more cold air. Well, before you say that, what on earth is that purple color? Because I see, if I spy with my little eye, a -8 in parts of Minnesota, a 0, and a -1. Maybe if you're in the UP, it could be as cold. There's 8, and if you go across the state line into Canada, it's like -11, -7. There's some cold air here. There's no getting around that. Negative sub-zero temperatures, but I thought it was supposed to be March 21st. It is March 21st. But if a chunk of that cold, modified as it may be, comes back into play, would you want to know about it? That's all I ask, because where these purple colors show up at 5,000 feet usually corresponds with single-digit wind chills and highs in the teens and 20s. I've said that time and time again. And when you look at these maps, this is a 5,000-foot temperature, which is a critical level that you want to look at. If you're interested in snow, it stays bottled up to the north for now. But once we move into Friday, we've got a little southern slider of the rain variety. Look at the red arrows and the blue arrows around Memphis. That's the southern system that's going to give us rain tomorrow. But the cold air is back up toward Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Winnipeg. We head into the 23rd. That Saturday night gets a little chilly again, because Sunday morning we should be around freezing. And then all of a sudden, watch what happens to the map as we get closer to Easter. Because again, the data is going to change. Models are going to see what it could see. Models can't see what it doesn't know what it can't see. But boy, does it look cold. As we head into Good Friday, this is Saturday the 30th. This is 9 days away. 9 days away. Looks pretty cold at 5,000 feet. And you think, well, it's not going to stay that, is it? Oh, it sure does. Looks even colder by the time we hit Easter Eve, because that's 8:15 on Saturday night. It looks even colder on the morning of Easter. So if you're dreaming of a white Easter, I can't fault you for that. The date is now for 2 days in a row at the same time frame, still painting some snow in the Knoxville area. That looks pretty cold, even for an April Fool's joke. Somebody, oh, that's nonsense. That's just nuts. Well, then this pattern has been a very interesting winter pattern. And I explained what some of the variables would be in that winter weather outlook on the premium side. The snow potential. I just show you this because people want to know. They're going to find it somewhere on the internet. I might as well give it to you. And the snow amounts in Minnesota are off the chart. I mean, I'm looking at 3 feet. Is that 43 inches, 45 inches in Minnesota? That's a lot of snow potential. A potential. That's the key, because it's not a forecast. I'm not forecasting for Minnesota, but I will tell you this. They're going to get buried in some new snow in late March. That's what's amazing. And there are some blue paint bombs, not only in West Virginia and in eastern Kentucky, but here in Tennessee. And I just point this out. This could be completely wrong, but at the very least, the cold air is back. So I will say, you had a spring day in winter last Thursday, a week from today, because last Thursday, we were at 79 degrees. We were near 80. In fact, it was 80 in Oak Ridge a week ago today. So why can't you think about the fact, if you think outside the box, why can't you have a winter day in spring? Because I'll tell you what, if we even got a third of this, a half of this amount of snow in your neighborhood, would you want to know about it? Just throwing it out there. This is just 10 days away, and we know we have to be within 3 days to have any confidence. Don't have any confidence this far out, but it's worth pointing out. If I just said, oh, let's just jump on the groundhog bandwagon and say early spring. That doesn't look like an early spring. That looks like a cold winter day in spring. You'd say, well, that's redbud winter, baby. I call it dandelion winter because I got dandelions in bloom. But I don't know about you, but we'll keep an eye on this for sure. By the way, here are my headlines for today. Plenty of sunshine, rain showers on Friday, and some leftover showers on Saturday. I want to say good morning to you. If you have a question, you have a concern, you have a criticism, I'm open to hearing it. I just, like I said, I'm just simply trying to serve you with the information. It's up to you to do with that information how you see fit. Darcy says, Burr, another chilly morning, 35. Alice says, good morning, enjoy the day. And Wanda says she likes my tie. You know, they play tonight at 9:20-ish. March Madness. I got my brackets all filled out. I love it. And if you haven't filled out your bracket, I hope you will. See how easy it is to predict the future. See? We'll see if your bracket has made it through the weekend. Because some people, oh, it's been busted. Sometimes I get that comment, usually by the first weekend. By the way, chilly this morning with 39 degrees in Talbot. Everyone enjoy the mild temperatures today, Janet. Also very thankful that you're here today and this morning. It is now 6:53. My goal is to be done in 7 minutes. I know I can name that tune in 7 minutes or less. Here's the future rainfall because first things first, we got sunshine today, glorious. Nothing to see at 5 o'clock on a Thursday clock here. But once we move into tonight, into tomorrow, the rainfall looks pretty paltry. Some of the models just struggling to get in here. As we've said before, sometimes they're slow to get in here, but sometimes they're also slow to get out. And slow to get out means it could linger into your Saturday. Boo! But I do have an 80% chance of rain Friday night. Comes down in buckets at times, and a ½ inch to an inch I think is reasonable. Look at Sevierville. Look at the Smokies. You're going to be looking at about an inch of rain, heavier rains there. Compare and contrast that to our Jamestown neighbor to the west. They're suggested here in the model at 0.1, so very little rain, 1/10 of an inch. In some cases, the further northwest you go, but temperatures will be warm enough for just rain heading into Friday. We'll be in the mid to upper 60s on Friday. Here's my valley planner for today. Mostly sunny, some high clouds, and we're looking at temperatures around 67 for an afternoon high today. Again, yesterday we hit 71, so we exceeded my expectations, but that may have been because of that southwest wind, which can never be underestimated in the longer days of spring. But today, it's a northeast wind, about, say, 3 to 8 miles per hour. So temperatures generally in the 60s. Precipitation chances, I mentioned, will skyrocket to 80% tomorrow night. So if you're taking your loved one out on or significant other on a date make sure you have an umbrella. It'll come in pretty handy, I think, for your Friday night. Storm Prediction Center here at 6:55, highlighting some yellow areas. That's the scattered severe storms. Our friends in Houston, southeast Texas, Galveston, and including College Station, Texas A&M. I believe they're also, I know they are, they're also in the big dance with the March Madness. They're under this scattered, level 2 we call it, slight risk for some scattered severe storms. This would include Beaumont, the Woodlands, and Victoria, Texas. Some areas in Dallas, Waco, and Austin could find some isolated severe storms today. This comes by way of our friends at the Storm Prediction Center. No severe weather here. Tomorrow, it's interesting. It's back toward the Big Bend. Talking about Panama City, Port St. Joe. They will be under the isolated severe risk. Destin is not included, but Panama City apparently is. Southeastern sections of Louisiana. And if you move further south into Florida, from Key West to Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and Tampa, St. Pete, isolated severe storms. Tomorrow, that's Friday, no thunder expected tomorrow, just some nuisance rain showers developing. Then by Saturday, there is still a risk for some severe storms isolated from Homestead, Miami, and Key West. And if you squint, you can see it right on the far edge of North Carolina. That's Kill Devil Hills, the Outer Banks, and Morehead City may find some isolated severe storms on Saturday. So just kind of want to highlight some of those interesting spots. If you're on YouTube, let me know. I'm going to bounce back over here. Got a couple of notes from you. Michael Hawk. Good morning, Michael. Good to have you here, sir. He says, good morning, David. Sitting at a chilly 39 degrees here in Morristown. Glad to have you here. A bit chilly. Certainly not the 26 that we had earlier in the week, but I would agree there is some chill in the air. And we've got another cold morning on Sunday this weekend when we're back down to about 32 in Knoxville. That I do expect. Here's another look at the progression of the upcoming rain. High pressure is going to be parked around Virginia today. And with that wind that's light, 3 to 8, there may be a few extra high clouds to greet you for the drive home. Still trying to paint maybe a little bit of a rain shower in the Bryson City area. But some of that could be model noise through 3, 4, 5 o'clock today. Once we move into tonight, clouds will increase. A couple of passing showers. By the time you wake up tomorrow, we will be looking at the ultimate Doppler radar on Friday morning for some of the rain that might be approaching you. Now, most of it by midday tomorrow is still down toward Memphis, still down watching this low move across Mississippi, Louisiana. Starts to really fill in tomorrow afternoon. I think tomorrow night, really it's a little more moderate there in red and yellow. So 11 o'clock Friday, it's game on for the rain showers, and most of this could be steadier as time progresses. But by the time we hit Saturday morning, most of the models want to get it out of here by 7, 8, or 9, most, as it begins to work its way east. It's all contingent on the low that's south of Atlanta. If it's a little slow to budge, because I think it could be, we could still be dealing with showers into the afternoon. Even here at 12:15, still show some rain, probably between, say, Seymour, Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, and Gatlinburg. So if you had plans in the Smokies this Saturday, it could be a little more persistent. The rain showers may be intermittent through the early part of the afternoon. By 4 o'clock, it looks like it's all gone. And by the time we hit Sunday, we've got mostly sunny skies. Beautiful day, but boy, 7 a.m. Sunday. It's chilly. I see snow in Chicago there, but it'll be cold enough to be down to about 32 to start your Sunday morning, and then it's off to church services. It looks like, and temperatures warming up. So it will be, by the time it's hit Sunday afternoon, back in the lower 60s. And Saturday, about 56. I don't expect Saturday to be very warm at all. By the way, Futurecast takes another look at these Futurecast temperatures. Midday today, 42. That's, well, not midday, it's 9:30. There's midday, 56. That's what I meant to say. 12 noon today, should be in the mid-50s. Some of you may be in the low 60s if you're in Monroe County. That's projected to be at about 61 at lunchtime. By 5 o'clock today, many of us are well into the mid to upper 60s, about 67. And you'll notice the clouds, even though this model struggles to see some of the Cirrus high clouds, they are starting to show more of them begin to increase for the second half of the day. Once we move into tonight, maybe a few passing stray showers, but then we move into Friday itself, and most of this will only increase for the latter part of the afternoon and evening, especially the evening, as it begins to work its way back into town. So let's get to the forecast. It's 6:59. My goal was to be done at 7. 67 high temperature today for Knoxville and the Valley. Mostly sunny, some high clouds, winds out of the northeast about 3 to 8 miles per hour. If we hit 70 in Athens, would not surprise me. 65 for Morristown and 65 for Wartburg. Those are my expected highs. If you're traveling today, about 72 for Chattanooga, 74 for Atlanta, but 20 degrees colder, actually 20 from just Chattanooga to Lexington. You got 52 and 72. Pretty cold up to the north. Charleston, West Virginia, high struggling to reach 50. But tonight, we're down to 44. More clouds, spots of rain. Got a little rainy southern slider trying to approach. Temperatures tonight should be relatively mild. Normal low again is 41. So this is actually warmer than average. We got 46 for Oak Ridge, 45 for Maryville, and 46 for Athens for low temperatures tonight. It is now 7 o'clock straight up, finishing right on time. Here's your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville and East Tennessee. I have us at 67 today, 68 tomorrow, but a sharp drop on Saturday when many of us are in the mid-50s. 56 is where I think we'll be. Bright sunshine on Sunday, and we're settling back into the 60s next week with more rain showers, particularly on Tuesday, and possibly some thunderstorms coming in Tuesday night and into Wednesday. If you're on the call, let me know. Love to know, see how you're doing. I got Steve Stone, Michael Hawk on YouTube, and if you're on Facebook, Patrick says good morning. He's from Painesville, Ohio, where the highs today are only going to be 30 degrees. He says he's jealous of our weather. Well, Patrick, we love the weather in East Tennessee. It's always changing. Everywhere I've stopped, everywhere I've been in weather, everybody thinks they're unique to the saying, oh, if you stick around here for 5 more minutes, weather will change. And everybody thinks they're unique to that. But that's really just a function of fronts coming and going. But people do have differences north and south, no doubt. Wanda Post says everyone needs to keep watching your weather for Easter. We'll see what happens. Kids can get their hunt their eggs in the snow. Yeah, I think that makes it more interesting, more challenging. You can bury those eggs in some snow. We'll see what happens. It's a little early. It's just 10 days away. But a lot can happen. In the terms of the cold air, just don't write winter off, because there could be still a few more surprises going right into April as well. Well, my name is David Aldrich. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.